Okay, so let's start with the module 3. So module 3 will cover up the introductory part and few basic things in the module 3 that we have we have to understand for further. So uh, module 3 basically it has 4 chapters, chapter 7 to chapter 10 according to this textbook. And first chapter, that is chapter 7, deals with the pattern matching with regular expressions, right? So regular expressions, I think you must have all know what is a regular expression, right? Can anybody give me an answer? What is a regular expression according to you? Okay, let me share the screen first of all. Yeah, I think the screen is visible. And as I said, module 3 will be starting off with the module 3 today. And module 3 has 4 chapters according to this textbook, which is from chapter 7 to chapter 10. Okay, and the first chapter in module 3, that is chapter 7, deals with pattern matching with regular expressions. Okay, so before we discuss what is this pattern matching with regular expressions, can anybody tell me what do you understand by a regular expression? As we have already in the previous class, we have learned what is a regular expression, right? Can anybody tell me? Uh, you can unmute your mic and give me a raw definition of what do you understand by regular expression. Please avoid typing in the chat box because typing, first of all, will take more time and will not express exactly the way that you want to express, like in the audio. So it is better to unmute your mic and you can give me your definition of what is your understanding as far as regular expressions is concerned. Anybody, please? Yeah, be quick to reply. What is a regular expression?
It
Alien?
is a sequence of symbol and character expressing in a string.
Very good. Good, Prajit. It's a sequence of different symbols and characters representing some kind of expression. Anybody else want to add to it or have a different opinion? What is a regular expression? Regular, as the name suggests, it's a regular expression. Yeah, anybody else? Or anybody who can give a simple example of what can be a regular expression? Yeah, please respond. Can anybody give an example of a regular expression? Rajit, can you give you an example, simple example? Your definition is correct. Can you give a simple example of what can be a regular expression? Satvik says in the chat box that specifies a set of strings that matches it. Okay, set of strings, really? Sanket says find and replace is the example. Okay, very good. Nice. Simple example, simple daily life example, what we see, right? Find and replace is the example. For example, if you're operating or using a Word document, and you want to replace a particular word. So you find that expression and you want to replace it with another expression, right? So this is a simple example. Good. Anybody else? Basically, whatever any kind of a text, it can be a expression, right? Unless there is a specific, really specific format for it or a unique structure for it, then it can be not so regular, but still it can be made regular. Best example is, let's say, as you can see here on the display itself, phone numbers, right? Phone numbers are kind of a expressions itself, but they have some kind of format, right? Different format for different countries, right? Different phone codes, initial codes according to the different countries, right? Country codes. So apart from just country codes, there are different formats also in digits, number of digits and all. So if you can see here, the format of Indian phone numbers. Let me zoom it in. Yeah. So as you can see here, the format for Indian phone numbers is first, of course, the country code, followed by 4 digits, hyphen, and then 6 digits. This is the usual uh, standard format that usually people refer, right? So plus 91 being the code of the country. Next 4 digits is actually the digits which indicates the operator, right? So these codes, first 4 codes, will define which operator is your telecom company is, and then remaining other 6 digits are your subscriber number, right? So which is unique to every, you can say every number, every SIM card. So this is a general format, you can say, which is again an expression. It's a kind of a regular expression again. So likewise, you can say your USN. The USN can also be a regular expression, which because it too follow a format, right? It does have a format, right? The code of the region followed by the code of the college or the institution or the university, whatever, wherever you are studying, then followed by the graduation year, I mean the year in which you have enrolled, right? The engineering for engineering course or any particular course, right? So year, that year, and then followed by your roll number or whatever your admission number was when you have taken the admission. So that is a general format of how is USL. So the point here is every regular expression has some kind of pattern, some kind of format, right? Now, how do we deal with matching those formats, right? Simple example I gave was with respect to phone numbers. So similarly, there's one more format. If you can see here, let me zoom it in more. Yeah, this is another format which is usually followed in the America, US, and this thing, Canada, right? US states and the Canada. So this is the normal format. So let's go ahead and discuss how can we perform pattern matching in these regular expressions with the regular expressions as well as without the regular expressions. Right? I hope the point is clear. Let's go ahead and find these patterns. Patterns of what? Patterns of these different characters, which is in the form of text, right? But without regular expression, and also we will take an example with regular expression. So let's first understand how can we find patterns of text without regular expressions. So in order to make you understand this, let's take the same example. You can take our example also, your phone number also. But just for the understanding sake, let's take the same example of this phone number, right? Which is 415 3 number, right? Then hyphen, then again 3 digit number, then again hyphen, and then 4 digit number. So 334, total making it 10 digits. But as you can see, we have hyphens, 2 hyphens here. So that makes us 12-digit expression. Now, this is a simple example. Now let us go ahead and find these patterns in some kind of messages or some text which is made available to us. Right. So in order to do that, let's do a program. Uh, and we will define a function called is phone number. This is just a random function that we have created, is phone number, right? Which actually what it does, it will perform the checking of the different phone numbers which are available in the text, given text or not. So the function starts like this. We define the function is phone number followed by a text. So what is this text? We will see now. Whatever that text is, we check the length of it. Now in this case, since we are defining the phone number, which is the 12 digit number, we are going to set the limit to 12 and we are going to check whether the length is not equal to 12. If it is not equal to 12, then we return that is phone numbers is false. That means it's not a phone number. Then we are going to divide this 12 digit, right? 12 digit numbers into 3, 3 and 4, checking from the range for I in range 0 to 3, then from 4 to 7, and then ultimately for 8 to 12. So this is nothing but we are dividing the numbers, the whole 12 digits into 3, then again 3, and then again 4, right? So for each of these numbers, that is for first three numbers, we check whether it's a number, that is it a decimal or no? If it is not a decimal, if it is not decimal, return false. Then in all the cases here also, if it is not a decimal, return false. Here also, if it is not a decimal, return false, right? And in between these numbers, we have to check whether do we have the hyphen or no. If the hyphen is not there, we return false because we are checking for patterns, right? And if the pattern is not there according to what is expected, it is not in right pattern, right format, then we are going to return false. And similarly, after seventh number also, we are going to check the text, the hyphen, and if it is not there, if there is no hyphen, we return false. And ultimately, if everything these things are true, if all these conditions satisfied, we return true that this number is a phone number. So now what is this text? This text is whatever we make the program print here, right? For example, let's say we print this random phone number is a phone number, okay? And then we call the function is phone number with the text this number. So now this is our text, right? So it will call the function is phone number and execute all these steps according to these numbers, right? Now another example is we just give a random text, some text, which is again followed by saying that it's a phone number. But when we call this function is phone number, this particular thing becomes our text and whole thing is again repeated and checks whether this is a phone number. So you can manually see, visually see here that this is actually a phone number and this is not a phone number. You can visually come to a conclusion for that. But how can we make this program understand this? So once we have this, it will rectify all these first three characters followed by hyphen, whether there is a hyphen, then whether there are three digits, and then again is there any hyphen, then again are there four numbers. If all these things are true, it will return that it is a phone number. So you will get output something like this, right? So this phone number is a phone number is actually true, and Moshi Moshi is a phone number is false. So this was a simple, very simple example of how pattern matching can be done without regular expression, right? So the last four print statements which we had manually or you can say hard coded in the program, this can basically be replaced with these set of commands or instructions which are actually kind of a message, right? So we take a variable called message and we just put a message that call me at so and so number tomorrow with so and so number is my office number. This is a message. Now this message becomes our text. We check the length of that particular message. We divide this complete message into chunk and we name a variable called chunk. Where do we divide? We divide right from ith location to I plus 12, right? So wherever we see the number, we divide, and from there we chunk only the 12 digits, right? So that becomes our next message that we want to process to check whether it's a phone number or not. So this becomes our chunk, and now this chunk when it is passed to the function is phone number, it will check whether it's a phone number or no. and if it is a phone number, it will print done, right? So in the message, as you can see, we have two phone numbers, and it will simply print a message that phone number found is this. Again, phone number found is this. So we have two phone numbers, ultimately done. So this is a simple example uh, of how can we do a pattern matching without regular expression. So we will in the next class discuss how can we do the pattern matching with the regular expressions as well, right? So hope the example was very simple to understand. Like any doubt with respect to this? Project says no, sir. Okay. Anybody who is having any kind of doubt or want to revisit? Okay. So if there are no doubts, then you can practice this. You can go through the lecture once again, once it is uploaded on the YouTube, and understand these things. Try to execute in your own environment, whatever you are using. Let it be Anaconda or that is Jupyter Notebook, or if you want to use it on Google Colab, or in the Python ideally itself, right? So please execute it, practice these things, because the more you practice, you will get better hang of these programs. You will understand where you are facing the problem, right? So like how we faced problems in the previous uh, program, the project that we saw, the password locker. So when we understand it from the just like learning point of view, when we just see the program, we see that okay, we have got it right. But when you execute it, only then you will come to know what kind of errors that we can get, right? So try to execute more and more programs, and bring little changes, your own creative changes in the program. Fine tune those programs. Try to incorporate your own features into those programs, and create your own version of it, right? So that's how you learn the programming at better level. So with this, we will conclude the lecture today since we are done with the timing. And please practice and make note of whatever we discuss here, right? Because these will be your assignments, as I've said. So with this, we'll conclude the lecture, and you are free to leave the meeting. Thank you.